York Sports. The mind is here. Mikey B, NBA. Back to the reviews. We're still on the east side. Let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. Let's talk about a team that is forgotten, but shouldn't be forgotten. That's still in the mix because of the way the East is situated, with apparently, in some people's mind, no superstars there, technically, right? I know Kemba's there. I know Kyrie's there. When we talking about LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Dame Lillard, Jesus Christ, Donovan Mitchell, must I go on? The balance is swayed to the West. There's not much there. But here we go with Indiana. Let's talk about the lineups. Let's talk about first, who are the mutants on this team? Who are the X-Men? Who are the guys we got to worry about every night who's going to drop 20 points per game or potentially drop 20, borderline all-stars? I keep saying that. You need some mutants on your team, right? You need some mutants. You know, you're going against Magneto. You need some mutants. So let's get into it. Who is the number one mutant? I think Victor Oladipo. Okay, obviously he's going to be the first mutant. He's going to return this year. Even though he's not playing early on, I expect him to return, but I do have him downvoted because of his availability. And obviously his return, his injury, is going to need a couple months to get back in full shape. But Victor, with the knee injury, I think he will be back this year. So I'm excited to see him come probably February, March time period. It is what it is. He's the guy. If he's back this season, I got to talk about him. Victor is the number one mutant. If we continue on, we're looking for a secondary scorer that's going to be special on this team. And that's where it gets tough for me, right? They lost Wes Matthews. Milwaukee is a sick team. I don't know if I did them yet, but that's a team that's going to be pretty sick. They're loaded from top to bottom. But who's going to pay second fiddle? They went out and got Malcolm Brogdon. That's what happened in the Wes Matthews trade, right? So they got Brogdon, right? Excuse me, they signed Brogdon. Who else is there? I hate to say this. I don't see a secondary pinpoint man other than the potential of Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis, tremendous year last year, okay? I thought I would have seen the same type of output from, what's his name, Miles Turner. But I think Sabonis is turning out to be the better of the two. As we continue on, we shall see. Turner definitely is in the mix. He's going to be the third guy who has the most potential. But Sabonis, he's there. He's consistent, has the inside play. We talked about the Euro takeover. I talked about it. Nikolai, again, I can't pronounce the name. I had a guy in the section say, hey, man, you can't pronounce names. Listen, dude, I tell you what, you guys on YouTube are getting sick now, okay? Do I look like I'm from Serbia, Mosagova? I mean, come on, guys. Anyhow, Domantas Sabonis is the guy that we're looking to. Joker's another big guy. Again, I'm talking about Zubac. I mean, on and on and on. Anything with an ak, ik, uk at the end of it, or is at the end of the last name, they're killing it right now from a balling perspective, and at the front court level, they are really superior right now to most of the NBA centers from the Americas. But Sabonis is a nice guy. So now we talk about Miles Turner, his improvement. This summer was on USA Basketball, right? You know, you thought there would be a big progression. Yeah, it did okay. I saw him in summertime working it out. I thought this kid, no doubt about it, has to be a front runner candidate for most improved player, potentially borderline all-star. Again, borderline all-star means, hey, they technically won't make it because there's too many players there, but they were supposed to make it. You know, they're on that secondary list. You know, he should have made it, that kind of guy. So I thought that Miles Turner could have been that guy. However, he hasn't shown that improvement all the way through. And that's the problem. He hasn't been able to put that improvement for his team. And the worry is his development process. What is he going to become? Okay. I think he has the potential to show himself this year. He's going to have the ball. He's going to need to have the ball. With Thaddeus Young and Oladipo out and Wes Matthews gone, they lost so much, right? Tyreke Evans lost on, Peds? Excuse me, Pez. I'm saying Pez, but some drug violation or something like that. They suspended him. So, I mean, this is where we're at. And Miles Turner's going to have to come out with an 18-9 season just because he has to, okay? Not because he would do that on a team that's fully stacked. He's going to have to do that because he has to. So, I'm excited to see what we see out of Miles Turner this year from a development standpoint. He may grow back into the secondary option after Oladipo, but right now, I think Sabonis is there, and he's the scariest one. Okay, let's continue on. Who's up next in this battle? Who else do they need to show up? Obviously, they tried it for Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon, the green light's on you, brother. It's your time. Brogdon now, no other player in his way now. I mean, it's totally empty for him, okay? Brogdon and Turner need to show out, okay? He's going to have to really put up the points. He's going to have to play defense. That's what they brought him in for. Okay, so then they lost a couple point guards. I mean, they lost quite a bit last year. Jesus Christ. I mean, it to me, it looks like a rebuild, but knowing the Pacers, they'll keep trying. You know, Larry Bird's in there, so they're going to keep trying. So Malcolm Brogdon comes in, should be a 16-8 guy easily because he's going to have the ball in his hand. He's going to have to. It's the NBA. Other than that, on this team, let's get into some options. They have a lot of potential winners here that could come through. Jeremy Lamb comes over from the Hornets, a guy that was highly touted out of college. You know, is supposed to be the next great shooting guard. And, you know, has an up and down career. Really, I blame it on the minutes. He never did get the minutes to play himself through. But he joins this Indiana Pacers, and he could be the leading scorer when it's all said and done right now. Jeremy Lamb could lead the team in scoring. Expectation is for him to possibly do that. He has that shooting ability. I don't think there's nothing stopping him with with enough balls to go around. You could even feed LA Fitness guys the way it's hanging on for where the Pacers are looking with all the injuries they got. Aaron Holiday, this is his second year. His brother Justin joins him. That's awesome. The Holidays, man. You got how happy of a father you got to be to have 3 sons in the freaking NBA. I mean, God bless those brothers. They've all done very well. But Justin joins his brother Aaron. Aaron now is going to slowly creep up to that backup, I would say even 6-man type role, preparing himself to take over the point guard role this year. Aaron Holiday out of UCLA. I want to see his progression. He's definitely a starter in this league, but needs the time. He's in the perfect position, play behind Brogdon. Let's see where that takes him. Next up, as we go, Alize Johnson. Again, a lot of guys are going to get an opportunity. Alize is, I would call him, he reminds me so much of, you know, a poor man's Ron Artest in this new age, because, you know, the dribble's different, everything's different in this new age. But he reminds me of Ron Artest a lot. I'm excited to see what I see from Alize off the bench, maybe 10 to 12 minutes. Again, another player they can develop. They're going to have great bench development while Oladipo's out. TJ Leaf, another UCLA product. I mean, they got love for UCLA. Could TJ Leaf break out is the question. That's the other thing. Could we see a breakout season for TJ Leaf? I'm sure we actually could, to be honest with you. I'm thinking there is a possibility that TJ Leaf breaks out. So I was talking about Miles Turner and Sabonis, but there is an opportunity for TJ Leaf with the minutes and burn. He's a stretch 4, 6'10", 222 in the ilk of a Lauri Markkanen. Think about Lauri. There could be without the range yet. TJ could break out this year and move himself into contention for a bigger contract or possibly fight for a starting role. Don't neg me. Just watch him. TJ Leaf, watch him out. Okay? In that same mill, Doug McDermott will have his best point percentage rebound year of his career. Another guy with the green light should give him 15, 14 points per game if given the minutes properly. Let's see what he does. Doug McDermott, your consummate vet. If Oladipo and all the roster was fully filled up, you would see him play the bench role. Your sharp shooting 3-pointer shooter. He is gaining some driving ability because of his sharp shooting ability. You got to respect the 3. So if you respect the 3, if the man can even get a good enough step to get by you, not even an Iverson, just good enough to just look by you, look by your shoulder. He's going to get by you because you're going to respect the 3, and that's just the way the game goes. So I'm excited to see what we see out of Doug McDermott. Now, if we continue on, Jakar Sampson comes along for this team. Jakar is another big, super athletic player that has some opportunity. Started off, I remember him when he started off with the 76ers, and he looked like a good player there. So Jakar Sampson comes in, tremendous player. Excited to see what I want to see from Jakar. He's another big athletic wing that may have an opportunity to do something special for his team. Jakar Sampson comes on, and it's pretty amazing to have that kind of opportunity when you're on the fringe of possibly leaving the NBA and not having a contract. It's good to go to a team like this because the opportunities abound all over the place. Edwin Sumner, how about him? 6'4" guard. Edwin, I believe he was out of Georgetown. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he at Georgetown? No, Xavier. Okay, close enough. They're both gray. They all both have some type of gray in their jersey. Sumner, again, 23 years old. Another opportunity. What did he do in his first game? Just to check. 6 points. Yeah, but he played good minutes, so they believe in the kid. I believe he'll continue to be successful. And possibly play, low minute, 9th or 10th man on the roster, 11th man. We'll see what Sumner can do, but he's in there for defense, okay? Now, guys that I think are special on Indiana, that they really, if they want to go to the next level before Oladipo comes back, they really got to think about Goga Blitz. Again, I hate these Euros. They're killing me, man. I love you guys. I love your game, but I cannot pronounce the name. Goga Bedesti, okay? The guy to the left, okay? I'm going to call him Goga. Goga, 6'11", 250. Another great talent out of the Euro. And I'm telling you, he's another special talent. I like him a lot. And there's trouble at the center forward position. There's a little bit of too much capacity there. They got too many options. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep 3. You should have 3, but I just don't know. Sabonis, Turner, and then Goga. Got to ask yourself, a lot of the guys play the same position, and they're all at the same potential talent level. That's the problem, right? If one was lower than the other and they'll be different, right? He could back them up, play his minutes, but when they're all kind of equal or feel that they're equal, they're NBA players, obviously. And I think their skill sets are similar. I think there's trouble. And unless he's not able to play and show out, then you have a lot of trouble when contracts come along in the next couple of years, but we shall see. So it's important that Miles Turner takes this opportunity because they are prepping for somebody to take his spot if he's not able to produce this year. Brian Bowen, I love this kid. I love this kid coming out of high school. He was supposed to, but then went over to Australia. He's basically a high school player to me. Brian Bowen is going to show so much potential, okay, this year. We're going to see a lot of things from Brian. I think he's an exceptional talent. He's a guy that can make his ways and take care of the opportunity that's given to him. Brian Bowen should be an exceptional talent. We shall see what we get from him this year on the Indiana Pacers. It makes sense that they got Brian Bowen as a player that they take a risk on, especially with the injury to Oladipo and the loss of certain players. I'm going to tell you what, to me on this team after Goga, Brian Bowen has the most potential and potentially could be, think of Trevor Booker, that kind of player in his career. I'm not saying he is Booker, but in the same ilk, sharp shooting, 3-point shooter. He's also pretty athletic. I think he's a little bit more athletic, neg me if you want, than Trevor Booker. So we shall see what we get from Brian. Doesn't have the handles like him, but from an athleticism standpoint, Brian Bowen's going to get an opportunity. Other than that, Justin Holiday's your solid shooting guard for the league. He does his thing. He does well. 6'5", 6'6", shoots the ball. It's going to be probably your starter for this team with all the pain they got. And then you got TJ McConnell that came over from the 76ers, going to be your vet. Young tutelage helping these kids grow. Naz Matrue-Lang, 6'3" guard, pretty good, strong pickup. He'll play a defensive role out of Iowa State, 218, big, strong player, should prove evidence. Again, defensive guy. Think of what's that dude's name from the Milwaukee Bucks, the point guard from the Bucks. Come on, Mikey, help me out. Mikey B, help me out. You can't know it all, right? When you cover all these sports, but he reminds me of George Hill. Okay. A George Hill type of player. Let's see what they can grow into. Another prospect with an opportunity. Indiana ranking for me. They're not making the playoffs. However, this is a strong rebuild year. Draft pick wise, going to be tough because there's a lot of centers, top end. There's a lot of big centers coming out next year. So we'll see what happens. But Indiana, no playoffs. Lottery pick in the draft, but good development year for this team. Off work, signing off. Peace.